I just farted and I've had to close the door.
And I just hit record as you said that.
And the fan's on, so it's just blowing back in my face totally.
Well, that's a perfect start to a perfect video for Elden Ring review.
Ring just farted in my face.
uh,
Well,
so,
your face actually, not mine, because I didn't pre-order.
no, yeah, true. Well, I got my refund, so there's a spoiler right there for this video. But I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna get into the potential story gameplay because you know what? I'm actually sure it's fantastic if it works, or maybe if you're playing on console. But PC optimization, holy shit, that is whacked.
So, just to be clear, what do you mean by optimization? Like stutters and stuff
Actually,
like
good
that,
point.
or
So there was a little bit of stuttering. I found the stuttering was more like if I was locking onto an opponent. So you know how like once it's locked on, you're kind of always facing him, no matter which way you run around. So
yeah?
if I was running straight at him, it was kind of fine. But if I was like running left, it would start shaking a little bit. And
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
which is weird. But I guess what I mean by sorry, maybe it's like the PC port because
Yeah.
as soon as I started the game, I had no idea what to do, and I mean because the game was giving me all Xbox controller options, and I had a mouse and like and I was playing on mouse and keyboard, and yeah, I had to like basically keep going into settings to work out what the hell was what.
Yeah.
Um, like even when you're walking up to stuff and it wants you like if you had the Xbox controller, it would say you have press Y for this, but Y on the controller. For me, it was E on the keyboard, and that took you know a minute to work out what the hell it wanted me to do. Like it's disres- dis disgraceful in 2022 that you're playing a game on PC, a game that's made for everything, PS5, whatever, Xbox, PC, and you're like, what the hell, man? Like it's like if a PlayStation 5, like people, I don't know if people are gonna watch this, and they're gonna be like, yeah, whatever, big deal. But that's like if you don't PC game, it's like putting on a PS5, putting the game on your PS5. You walk up to something, and instead of it saying press X, it says press T, and you're like, okay, game, what the hell is T? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, and you're dead right. And there's no excuse for them not to add PC controls and overlays to tell you what to press. Like that is should be the basic of any port should come with that crossover. There's no excuse that that's not done really. I think,
It was so
and
irritating.
yeah, uh, well, I mean, I watched some of you stream, and it was irritating to me to watch you fumble around like because it made you lose focus on the game,
Yeah,
if that makes sense. So that there was no story, and it just made it hard to watch because you were spending all this time, fumbling around trying to find out what to push and all that sort of stuff, and what keys what, and you had to
and it's not
rebind some keys,
and it's
and
not because I'm an idiot. It's because the game just kept telling me everything from an Xbox controller perspective.
I,
So I had.
I, I wouldn't go that far, but no, I totally agree. I think it was a major distraction in the start of the vid. Um, but for anybody that's gaming on PC, like it would have been a major thing. Like most people would have just gone keybinds, let's just rebind everything, and then I'll be right after a
Yeah,
bit.
which
But because you keep getting that overlay, that's the problem. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's
the,
right.
you know, the
Um,
the overlay is prompting you to push a key, but it's
that
not
that doesn't
corresponding
that
to
doesn't
what.
exist.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
you can see in the video now, or I don't, you're not watching this because I'm recording it, but I've got my stream playing as we're talking. So
yeah,
I'm, as we speak, mucking around with the keybinds, trying to work out what the hell's what's what,
yeah.
because I got to that point where, okay, this game is just clearly giving me everything Xbox related. I need to get in and just work it out myself, which, again, I know what you're saying. Some
It's
people
confusing though.
some people might watch this and be like, who doesn't keybind when they start a game? That's
Yeah,
fair.
but that overlay is confusing you.
Yeah, that
It would
like
it would piss me off to no end to see push X, even though I've rebound everything, and I don't push that anyway.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like it's just an annoying thing on the screen.
but it's not too much to ask to load up a game and not keybind anything, and just if the game's gonna tell you what to press, make it the right friggin' button.
Well, here's my gripe, right? Did they design? Did they actually write the game and build it on console?
I playing last night, 100%.
Because
No,
no, no.
100%.
What I'm saying is, did they write the code and everything on a console? No, they wrote it on a fucking computer. Okay,
Yeah,
they designed this game off a computer
yeah. Okay, that's what you mean.
for a console.
Yeah,
Okay, but they don't take that away and go, well, you know what? We're developing for fucking everything here. We need to make sure that we're covering every medium, not just the console. Like I'm sure PS5. Well, actually, I don't know. That's something we could check. Whether PS5 has PS5 overlay on the screen.
I'm sure it does, but I don't. But
Well, you know,
well, probably. I know. I do know with a lot of PC games, if they're going to give you some type of controller descriptions, Xbox generally is the way I always see 90% of the time. You know what I mean?
that's right. Yeah,
So I would like to think if a PS5, well, I've got a mate that has a PS5 who has it, and he didn't give me anything like that, any feedback about, yeah, I'm getting Xbox control logos too. So I'm sure it's just the PC port, probably because it's Microsoft.
yep.
So they're going to give you the Xbox
Well, see that.
controller, but
Yeah, I mean, even Microsoft put these things through. Well, I suppose it's for console. Yeah,
yeah, oh,
yeah.
it's a console.
Okay.
Playing it last night, it is 110% console only. Mate, I know you're saying, all right, they made it on a computer, but they made this game
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
for
it's
console.
optimized for console.
It
Yeah, that's
is,
because they don't have to worry about all the different um PC setups, like what
yeah,
video card and processor and RAM and everything. It's all, it's stock standard. They don't have to program for that one setup for the Xbox or the PlayStation,
yeah,
and it's optimized for that hardware. That hardware is optimized, to work with the other parts of the hardware that are in that console.
yeah,
So, you know, um, yeah, look, most of the complaints I see is stuttering when like being attacked from one of the bosses or mini bosses or whatever.
yeah,
When they do one of their big attacks, people say it's stuttering, and I get hit and killed while it's stuttering, and there's nothing I can do about it.
yeah. I can't say it started
So
too hard in like a boss attack, but like on that though, like I get the game is meant to be difficult, and I'm totally for that. I don't mind difficult
yeah,
games,
yeah,
but
same.
like, all right. So I went through the first bit where you kind of going through this dungeony type area, and then you go out into the open world, right? Now, again, I don't mind if you need to figure shit, figure everything out on your own, but at least give just one starting quest or something because it basically puts you out there straight into a boss. I don't know if you saw when I was fighting that big dude on the horse. Um,
Yeah, but you can bypass him.
yeah, you can, but it's just kind of like, what the hell?
Yeah, okay.
like,
I see where you're going. But
like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, I had watched a little bit of footage yesterday morning, and the guy was like, "I'm not going to try and even attempt that dude
yeah,
on the horse."
yeah,
I think it was the tree, some tree boss or something. He's like, "I'm not even going to attempt that. I'm going to go over to this area over here." He went and killed some guards and
yeah, which is pretty much what I
was
did.
able to, yeah, he was able to get some weapons out of the crates of the big carts or whatever they are, the wagons
Yeah,
and stuff like that. And then he actually just bypassed it. I think he went to the storm boss that's through the gate.
okay,
You go through a gate and he drops down out of the thing. He took that dude out.
yeah,
But his gameplay seemed flawless. His gripe was the crouch kept coming on when he didn't want it to come on.
okay.
So obviously that's just the controller scheme, the
The
way
the
it's
only
you
thing
know
that kept happening to me last night that was happening by itself was when if I was fighting two or three enemies at
It would
once,
switch
and I
targets.
locked onto one, and I just
Yeah.
wanted to sort of focus on him while keeping a side eye on the other two, it would keep switching locks on,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And that was irritating the hell out of me because like, it's like a tactic of mine. I want to keep an eye on one who I felt was maybe say the bigger brute, and
Yeah.
I'll try and manage the other two as I'm working my way around this fight. But the freaking lock kept changing and changing, and my camera angles kept changing. I'm like, oh come on, man, just stay on the one. What's the point of a lock? What's the point of a lock if it's gonna move?
Well, it's not a lock, is it?
No, it's not. I'm getting frustrated now.
Fire up, Astro. Fire up.
Oh
That's what
God.
I say.
And all right, moving on. That damn multiplayer messaging crap. I'm
Oh,
sorry. Like I know that like it's there. The point of it. I think. Oh, what's that other game? That one, that walking simulator game,
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. It's kind of similar to that in a way. You could leave. You could make if you were going through obstacles, whatever you sort of, if you laid a rope to climb up to something, for argument's sake, that rope would stay there for the next player that instances into that. You know what I mean? So you kind of could help other players indirectly, something like that,
Yeah.
right? So this is kind of doing the same thing, kind of, except you're just writing messages about what's there. One, I don't like it because it's giving shit away. You know what I mean? Like if I want to creep in a room and it's a jump scare, I've already got a guy telling me, "Oh, be careful, jump scare on the left." You know what I mean? Like why are you
Yeah.
doing that?
Yeah.
Why shouldn't I be experiencing this shit for myself? You know what I mean? And
Yeah. That's exactly right.
secondly, some of the shit they write is just trolling anyway. It's just, you know what I mean? Like I'm scared of
Like
teddy bears.
jump off, take the plunge.
Yeah, take the plunge or jump and you'll die just for the sake of it. Take the
I
when
saw
I,
you do
when
that.
I first saw
I
that, I thought
laughed.
that was the game telling me like take the plunge. This is the beginning of your story. I'm dead. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
um, and then there was one point I'd to press this lever, but because two brainiacs wrote messages about pull the lever, I couldn't pull the lever because every time I move it, their chat box would come up like press E to bring up the chat, but it kept overlapping. Press E to pull the lever, if that makes sense. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And the thing that I mean, the only way to turn those off is to go offline, which means you have no co-op or
Yeah,
multiplayer options.
yeah.
So that sort of sucks a little bit. And I would have thought there should have been an option to at least turn off the messages. I know there was blood trails, and I've got a funny feeling there's something similar to the
So
messages.
the blood, what is the blood? Is that where other players have died? Is it?
I'm assuming, yeah,
Because
it's
another
where
thing that was
stuff's
annoying
happened.
me
Yeah,
was when you could see the ghost of another player. And I'm pretty sure that was live gameplay. Like it just puts them in your instance for like 5 seconds as a ghost, and then they disappear. Like
yeah,
what? Why? I don't. Why?
yeah.
like
I have
like
no idea.
it's just like I get it. Some people might think it's cool. You can see what someone else is doing there. It looks like they look like a ghost. You know what it looks like? When I first saw it, when you play Need for Speed and you do one lap and then you race yourself, that's what it looks like. It
Yes,
looks like you're
yeah,
following a previous version of yourself for like 15 seconds, maybe five
yeah.
seconds. But
That's
I
stupid.
don't know what the point of it is. Like, who cares? Like, do I like? Do I have to see someone for 5 seconds walk around and then disappear like a ghost for what? What does that bring to the game? I don't know. Look, I haven't played the game. I've only played 3 hours, so maybe there's a story to this. It's all connected somehow. You know what I mean? Like there probably is a point to it all, but early game, for me, I'll be honest, it was actually just annoying. Like I was running around, and you might see the odd ghost pop up, and I'm just like, whatever, just
Yeah,
just keep going. Um,
yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
was just too. Yeah, it just you would have felt. It felt like a modern day Skyrim, and what I mean by that is just janky controls because it's made for a console controller. Mouse and keyboard was just crap. Like you just felt like everywhere you wanted to move, you just I don't know. It just wasn't really working.
I think I remember you stating that it was a bit janky because of the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah,
It didn't feel smooth.
no, it definitely felt like forced. Just
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, look, I don't understand how developers, if they're going to release onto PC, they don't support it properly.
Yeah,
It's pretty
and
sad.
and graphically, I think it looked better in the trailers. Like, look, don't get me wrong, it's a pretty game, and but I just felt the pardon me. I just felt the graphics looked kind of Skyrim-y, and then like a boss would come in and the boss is like being rendered in like some ultra HD. I don't know, does that make sense? Like the boss looks really good, but then everything else in the whole game looks like it's dropped down a notch. So it's like you're playing the game in say 1080p, right? And then
Yeah.
the boss is there and the boss looks 4K. So it's like all this graphical beauty's gone into this boss, but then once you move away, you know, I didn't beat any bosses last night, but once you move away from that boss or go back into the world, then it goes back to some normal 1080p look. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah,
it,
that's pretty weird if that's intended.
yeah, I don't know. That's what I found last night. Even my character, like if I spun the camera around to look at his face, it just looked very plain. Like you know,
Yeah.
because obviously you can't see the face, it's you're playing from behind. So it's like they thought, well, let's just save 10 minutes and make that look good. You know, it just looks like a cartoon face, if that makes sense, you know?
I
Um,
did notice that the character setup was quite in like had quite a bit of depth to it though.
yeah, but for what reason? I got no idea.
Well, going on what you just said, what's the point?
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
Yes, you can make yourself look like a friggin' 85-year-old dude with no teeth, which is what I saw one person doing with his character
yeah.
yesterday.
But if
Um,
you're only looking at the back of his
but
head, who cares?
yeah, who cares? And you're not really PvPing. Well, some people are PvPing, but they're saying it's pretty crap.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, look, I don't know. I'm glad I didn't pre-order. Um, I mean, it's pretty much Elden Ring 2042. Is that
that's
where we're going?
that's you called it. It's the title
Yep.
of the video.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's
seriously,
uh,
uh,
I don't
I
know.
don't get it. I don't get it. Like, this isn't the only game that's done this, or the only two games that have done this recently. There's been a lot of games that are coming out now that just aren't ready to come out.
It's another cyberpunk.
Yeah, well, there's another
Like
perfect
it's
example.
actually it
Cyberpunk.
like this game Elden
Even,
Ring has actually made me lose hope now in all the game launches. Like that this has actually done it for me.
yeah.
Like whenever a game launches now, I feel that add another 6 to 12 months to it, you know what I mean? Like after release.
Well, well, my comment in the last video about this was, it's not early access, so it should be good.
Yeah.
Okay, but this just proves that they're not really, if they're going to console port it, that's fine. I don't have a problem with console ports. I have a problem when they're not done properly for the medium that they're porting it to.
Yeah.
You look at GTA, that's been ported reasonably well. Um, there's really not. I mean, GTA is GTA, I suppose. It's pretty old now, but
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad, or it didn't feel that bad, and you could definitely play it with keyboard and mouse, and
You know
there wasn't those issues.
you know you're in trouble. You know you're in trouble when you play 3 hours straight of Elden Ring and then put on a game of PUBG after it and you feel like PUBG runs and looks so good.
And how old's PUBG
That's
now?
when you know. Like, I don't
And,
care
and
if any fanboy watches this and they want to disagree. That is absolutely fine, and I really hope you are enjoying the game. And you know what? The game probably is a good game. The more you learn it and master the art of battle. I'm not complaining about how hard. Look, let me just clear this right now. I'm not complaining about the grind, the difficulty. I'm all for that, for learning and this and that. But I played a console game last night that got hacked into my computer and allowed me to play it on an emulator. and I was like, yeah, no, I better play this on console because this is shit. That's what happened last night. That's the best way to
uh,
describe it.
yeah, and that's just unacceptable. You know, these companies are pretty big, and they know. They would have known that this shit wasn't going to fly, but they've just released it anyway.
So yeah, I'm just looking at my battle with the guy on the horse. Like it, when you're watching the video, it actually looks good, but like I was struggling with the mouse and keyboard, which shouldn't be the case. It really shouldn't be.
No, no, not at all.
Like, so anyway. Anyway, I don't want to make this video
Yeah,
go too long. I just wanted to give my early 3 hour review on Elden Ring. If you're watching this video for the first time in our channel here, please follow the page Astro RPG TV. Throw us a like and a follow. Much appreciated. I'm Anthony Cleaver. Thanks for joining me again. It was good to vent off
cheers,
some steam with someone.
mate.
All right, and we'll see you on the flip side. Thank you. Peace.